Clashes have broken out between student protesters and police in Myanmar. Riot police beat back around 200 students as they tried to break through police lines in the central town of Letpadan. Now, protesters have been prevented from leaving the town to carry on their march south. They're protesting at a new education bill which they say is restricting academic freedom. They began their march from the city of Mandalay in January, but they've been held in Letpadan for nearly 2 weeks now. Let's speak to our correspondent in Myanmar, Jonah Fisher, who joins us from Yangon. Jonah, how violent was that becoming?
Well, pretty violent. We saw the police using batons to beat back the students. What happened in Letpadan today was really the culmination of a week of tension there as the students demanded to be given the right of passage to continue their march towards Yangon. Today they said they were going to break through, and that's why we saw these attempts to go through the riot police, and in the end the riot police appeared to simply lose patience with the students, responded very aggressively. We believe dozens of the students were arrested and taken away as effectively the police moved in to clear most of those parts of Letpadan and try and make sure that that was really the end of this student demonstration. I should mention that there's been a solidarity demonstration here in Yangon that I've just come back from. Also, maybe 100 or so student demonstrators on the streets not far from where I'm speaking to you now. That demonstration also was broken up by the police in quite an aggressive way, not as bad as we saw in Letpadan earlier today, but certainly pretty aggressive. The students in the end were dispersed by the police who had riot shields and attempted to arrest some of those students. But yeah, today has been a day really when people here in Myanmar have seen a side of the police that they perhaps hoped that they wouldn't see. We've not seen this sort of very aggressive clashes as we saw in Letpadan for quite a long time here, and for many people here it was really a rather unwelcome reminder of this country's tragic past.
Yeah, can you just, I mean, emotions clearly running high, Jonah. What is the extent of the new education law that bothers these students so much?
Well, effectively, they say that this new law, which has been already passed through Parliament, is an undemocratic law, that it over-centralises control of higher education. And they've been campaigning for quite a long time now to have the power within the higher education system here devolved out to universities and higher education institutions, and also for various rights, such as the right to form student unions freely. But in many ways, this is come to have a significance which goes beyond, though, that education bill. I think lots of people here have been watching these protests very closely over the last weeks and indeed months, looking at how the police are going to deal with it, and also looking very closely to see if it might become a rallying point for other people who are also equally unhappy with the lack of progressive reforms here, perhaps, or the lack of constitutional change, that this might prove to be a starting point for a broader demonstration, rallying movement here in Myanmar. And I think now people will be looking very closely at what response there is to this crackdown today, whether people are aggrieved enough or feel that students have been treated badly enough to go out on the streets themselves and demonstrate in really big numbers in solidarity.
Indeed, we wait to see. Jonah, thanks very much indeed.